Hello everyone, my name is Martin and welcome in another Photoshop tutorial. Today I'd like to show you some kind of quick tip tutorial because actually at the moment I cannot do any long manipulation because my laptop isn't really well at the moment. So till the next month, till the end of July, I will not upload any manipulation tutorial but probably few quick tip tutorials which I hope you're going to enjoy. And for today I prepared this kind of quick tutorial about how to create, how to add specific effect on your image to make it look like a pin-up girl effect, like 50s, like pin-up girl from 50s, and that's how it looks. A final result of this, it's just very similar to vintage effect with some other corrections like adding noise to the texture and filters to the model. So I hope you're gonna enjoy. That's my final result, as I said, and let's remove all the layers and let's start. Again, at first I'd like to duplicate my background layer, and the reason is very simple. On this layer I just like to add some noise. So of course maybe you think it's not really necessary, because it's really not, but like that image might look like really old one, so I'd like to add some Gaussian noise and amount on about 10%. It's not too much. After that I think it would be a great idea to take down some saturation, not too much, because of course too many colors doesn't look really well too, so maybe -25, -30 would be really okay. I could try something between like -27 and we'll see. After that, like, it would be nice, actually after that it's not only would be nice, but I decided to add some color, like, which gonna imitate vintage effect, like very strong blue color, like very clear blue color like this, and then change blend mode into exclusion. So it's actually the same style like vintage effect. I like to apply simply vintage effect to your image, just add color blue, then exclusion, and of course change opacity. But now I like to add really soft opacity, about 15%, maybe up to 20%, and as you see the colors on our image like are much more clear, like much more retro, and I really like this effect. Maybe 20% would be okay as well, but I think at the moment 15 it's nice. We can change this a bit later. So after these few effects, it's time to create new layer, which I'm going to call Dodge and Burn. Then select Dodge tool. Of course, the reason why I'm going to do this, I think, to create really nice pin-up girl effect, we have to add some Dodge and Burn tool to make our contrast really clear. I think exposure about 25%, it's totally enough. So just, of course, I have to fill this layer with color gray, which I forgot. Edit, fill, 50% gray, change blend mode into overlay to make this layer invisible, and then just paint some parts of your model. Of course you can remove that noise layer. It's probably not really comfortable to paint using Dodge and Burn tool with noise, so I decided to remove that noise layer for now. just for a second. Of course, I'd like to make really shiny hair. And after that, Batch tool, of course Burn tool, and I'd like to use this tool on her dress and some black parts. Exposure only at 20% right now. And okay, I think it's enough right now. So next step would be I'd like to cut model from my background because I'd like to apply some filter. So we have to select our model, of course. But at first, the thing we have to do, let's say how does it look with a little bit of noise. It looks like this. But the thing is, I have to unclick visible, like I have to unclick visibility of this noise layer, of course. Then I'd like to create a stamp on the top, so press Shift, Alt, Command and E to create a stamp, or Shift, Alt, Control and E if you're working on Windows. Because this layer, this model layer, has to be without noise. Now I can click visibility on this layer, it doesn't really matter, and now I have to select my model. It's really necessary because I want to make separate background, because it really doesn't look well if I'm gonna apply this filter into my background. So I just think it would be better to apply this filter. I'd like to apply only to my model. To select our model, of course, we just can use regular quick selection tool, because as I said, it don't has to be perfect. It will be fine anyway. Here, that's green. And actually that screen wasn't necessary, but let's say it's fine. And now you have to cut this from our background, so layer there cut. Now I can remove my filter layer. I'm gonna call that layer filter again. Now click filter, filter gallery, and we have to select one filter. I have two options for you. The first one is film grain, or other it's poster edges. Both of them works really good on this kind of effect. Maybe poster edges might be a bit better. Let's try with because it's more about pin-up like poster edges, and as you see, our Dutch effect is much more stronger now. So the thing I'd like to do, I'd like to take down some opacity, let's say down to 60%, as well as on our Dutch and Bertram layer maybe to 70. It's not really too much, just a little bit, and I think it looks really okay. Actually not really, because I made a mistake. So few steps back, because the mistake I've made, of course I have to convert this to smart object to apply filter as a smart object, because it gives me some options to change that filter later. So again, filter gallery, and I apply the same effect, and now it's much better. As I said, opacity down to 60%, Dutch and Burn down to 70% at the moment, and it looks something like this. It gives us a bit more contrast, bit more Dutch and Burn tool effect, and for me it looks like really interesting. I'd like to show you how does it looks with poster edges effect. Maybe it's a bit more about pin-up, I don't know, it's actually up to you, but if you decided to add poster edges, I'd like to take this down to 40%, maybe it will be much better. So actually this effect is really up to you. I'd like to do something different. That's the reason why I apply a grain filter. So now just few last corrections. It would be really nice to add more vintage effect. I don't want to add any textures into this image, because it's just waste of the time. If you'd like to add some grunge textures, it's up to you. So solid color, I'd like to select some creamy color like this. It's gonna imitate really nice vintage effect, and I'd like to take down opacity into 10%. It takes down a little bit of contrast, and at the end, of course, you can select brightness contrast and take down some contrast as well, maybe up to 20%. And what can be next? I think it looks nice at the moment. It's not so strong effect. It looks really okay for me. I think the area here, it's like too strong. So let me check the other effect. It's really only one problem I have with this effect. And I think maybe I could mix them. Let me see. And then I think it would be really the effect I'd like to add. And now I think I've got really nice pin-up girl effect. I like the background, it's a bit noisy but not too much. The look is very vintage. Add maybe the last element. I think it looks nice already. You can, if you really would like to add something more, you can burn some edges using just black brush, like me. Not too much really. Let's try with overlay and opacity down to 20%. I could use regular vignette, but I think no sense, and like this looks maybe much more interesting, like really nice. So let's say my effect is done. I think it's really nice. Take a look how this image looked before this editing, just like this. It was really nice picture. Like we could say it was pin-up effect, but I think after my editing it looks much more impressive and it looks like real poster from 50s. Of course we could add some sign at the end, but I think it's enough. Thank you for watching and see you soon in the next Photoshop tutorial.